Welcome to the best Commander podcast in the world.
We're doing the 10 most annoying cards in all of Commander.
Yeah, we made it a list because everyone loves lists.
Lists are popular. We're trying to get that clickbait money.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, BZ, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. You should like this video. If you're listening to it on Google Play, Spotify, iTunes, go to YouTube and like the video, because I'm asking you to. And you're a nice person.
No matter where you are, leave what you're doing. And if you're driving in your car, listening to this podcast, stop, pull over, be safe, because we don't, and then like the video, and then go back to driving.
Well, if you're going to like the video, but you don't want to pull over, just do it while you're driving.
No, don't do that. I'm going to not suggest that. I would need to use disclaimer guy if I was suggesting that.
Disclaimer guy. Don't do that. All right. Well, what is the disclaimer, real life for this one, though?
The actual disclaimer for this video is Armageddon is a fine win condition. That's something we want to mention. Like, yeah, we know mass land destruction is very hated in EDH and very annoying when it's used stupidly, but it's also a fine win condition when used correctly.
Well, it is important to define our terms. So what do you mean by when we say the most annoying EDH cards?
Cards that when players play them, the things that they do are just for either what their mana cost is or...
So we're talking about like frustrating, lack of fun.
Yes.
Like prevents magic from being played to an extent.
Sometimes they can like turn off certain ways of playing. Like the first one that's on this list.
Let's jump into the first one. What's number 10?
Well, we also have to say...
We exclude... Second real life disclaimer.
Second, yeah. We're also excluding stacks pieces because the whole list would be stacks pieces.
Right. So there's a couple that are stacksy. Fill in any stacks piece because everyone hates different ones differently. Some people hate smokestack the most, or static orb is the worst one. Well, I think stasis is the worst. Well,
nope.
Honestly,
nobody hates static. Nobody hates smokestack the most.
Nobody's annoying.
Nobody's least favorite stack piece is smokestack.
That's how stacks got its name. So
that doesn't mean
like,
anything.
I hate the name. Well, smokestack is the reason. Okay, number 10. I'm gonna do it because you don't want to. Soren Markov. It's 3 black for a planeswalker. Starts at 4. His only ability is a -3. Target opponent's life total becomes 10. Actually, it's target player, so you can do yourself.
It's super. I've seen players do themselves actually now that you say that because they gained like 7 life.
Okay, well, it prevents life gain strategy, as you said, right?
Yeah, I hate that.
Not that that's a huge deal, but...
Oh, it's still really annoying. It's like, what if your strategy, like somebody, say you're playing a life gain strategy and it happens to be good in your pod and people start playing this annoying card. It's just like, well, but my thing
Metagaming.
Yeah, they metagame for your life gain deck. It's like, well, that's annoying. It's...
Well, if I was doing the 10 most annoying EDH habits, I would say metagaming is one of them.
Yeah.
Because to this extent, that's dope.
Yeah.
I guess we can do another whole other video about that because I'm not going to go into it anymore.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that.
So number 9, we can just move on. Soren Markov is annoying. He is a far too high rate, according to you. I really don't have a problem with him.
I hate him.
Yeah. Number 9 is Sensei's Divining Top. It's 1 mana, and it taps to put it on top, then you draw a card. Well, you draw a card, then put it on top. And you pay 1 to waste everybody's time.
This card takes forever to use. It is so annoying.
If you have an excess of mana, then I can't blame you for not using this all the time because you can activate it. Well, I have a way to draw a card. All right, cool. Now you have to activate it again because the next card, the third card down has changed. And then if you find a way to draw a card, draw 2 cards, you can draw a card, put top back, draw 2 cards, one of them's top, one of them's the other one, play top, spin. Now you gotta look at this third card down again. Just waste so much time, and it's a great card. It's one of the better cards in Commander.
I mean,
but just wastes everyone's time.
Top is an amazing card in Commander.
I think most decks, I think the format would just benefit without it. I don't know.
I mean,
just like Legacy, just get it out of here.
I mean, it's just a card in EDH where it's like, why aren't you playing this card?
Sometimes you have to, well, if budget aside, everything we say is budget aside usually, you can't justify not playing it in a lot of decks.
And it's got to be like 95% of decks. Like maybe
I'm going to say 80%.
1 in 20 decks, that felt right. 1 in 20 decks don't want this card?
I'd say 4 out of 5 decks want this.
That doesn't sound right.
It might be 6 out of 10. I don't know. It's not that great. It's just really good.
I think
it gets put into a lot of decks erroneously. Number 8 is 3 cards because they're pretty much the same type of thing.
Well, it's for the reason, not because the other parts of these cards aren't what we hate. It's the one part that they do the other.
Yeah, I'll read one, then you read the next one, and then I'll read the last one. Teferi Time Raveler. His static is Your opponents can only cast spells at sorcery speed. What's the next one?
Teferi, Mage's Self-Fury does the same thing, but he also gives your creatures flash.
And Grand Abolisher says no one can cast spells or activated abilities of basically anything during your turn.
So it's just the stopping of interaction overall.
They're aggressive, must-answer combo protection.
Like if you play Teferi on like turn 3 and he comes back around you, you can just go for your combo. There's no danger.
Or turn 6, if your combo is cheap and you one spell to do. Teferi. Well, you counter this. Then if you do, you don't have a counter spell for my combo. And if no one else is going to react, I win. It's just a little frustrating.
Yeah. The flashing in Mage's Self-Fury end of turn can be even more annoying.
I feel like this is stuff these are like big cards where people talk about, oh, my EDH group has an arms race. This is what like comes up out of that. When you have an arms race to like get faster and better, and then you get crap like this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just trying to combo off and you're always being stopped, you throw in Grand Abolisher, it's like, well, now I can't be stopped if I add this extra 1 card.
You're riding the thin line, mister. You're close to playing Silence.
Ugh.
Watch yourself. Careful. Number 7 is Humility, because it makes the game take a while. No one can ever kill it, and it just shuts off half of decks.
No one can ever kill it is a weird thing to say because it's easy. It's easily destroyable. I mean,
I can never kill it. I love playing creatures that kill things.
Yeah,
My creatures can do anything.
Creature base removal can't get rid of this.
Yeah.
But it's a really good. Again, another insanely good card, especially if you're playing the control deck.
This is why you play a Nature's Claim. All right, kids?
You always play Nature's Claim.
Packing heat for that Humility. It's an underplayed card. This card is so good. It shuts down everything.
I mean, the reason it's one of the main reasons probably overplay is 2 reasons. Well, 2 reasons it's probably
expensive.
It's expensive. And if you play creatures, it's not good in your deck usually.
Yeah, you need to play this control deck.
You need to be playing almost a creatureless deck, not literally, but mostly creatureless deck.
Nice Voltron deck you got there.
Oh, I mean,
Hope you're going real big.
I mean, if they suit him up with like 10 things.
Depends though. Like if I have a Rafik, now he's a 1/1.
Yeah, but if you put on an Ancestral Mask and like 5 other enchantments, that's still killing somebody.
It's true. And Humility loses points for the Humility Opalescence interactions that I don't even remember.
I don't care.
I just remember that they're stupid.
There's a lot of silly stuff with Humility. I know that much.
It's one of you're trying to be a judge? Well, I bet you will regret this card existing.
Timestamp. It's a timestamp card. I know
Yeah.
that. Well, you have to know when it came out.
Well, this card is not a timestamp card. It's Perplexing Chimera. It's 4 and a blue for a 3/3 enchantment creature. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you can switch the Chimera and the spell. So if the spell becomes a creature, you get the creature. And then they get the Chimera, and then they have to decide next time their opponents cast a spell whether they want to switch everything. And it's just really annoying.
Oh, it's so annoying.
It's good, but it'll slow the game down for sure.
It slows down the game as soon as you take a spell, and it's even more annoying if they're playing a flicker deck because they just switch it with any spell, flicker it back to their side.
Yeah, I'll switch it with a ham sandwich just so you can't have it. Oh, Rampant Growth? All right, I'm in. And then I'll flicker it with Rune or Miss Meadow Witch or whoever.
Another thing is you get to change targets, so it's like if they target it with removal, you give it to them and kill something else.
Don't target it removal because you can't. Targeting with removal just gives it to you.
You could target it with a Shriekmaw, I guess.
The best thing to do with Perplexing Chimera, for everyone's sake, target it with Swords to Plowshares, they switch it, kill your guy, then you just sacrifice it. Just get it off the board.
It's super, I don't know, this card doesn't see too much play in EDH, but we've played against it enough where we know it's super annoying.
Yeah, not a fan. Number 5 is actually might be just my least favorite Magic card. I'm not sure, because context is really important. Maybe my least favorite Commander card.
Poopy baby.
Expropriate.
You've lost this card a lot.
It's 7 blue for a sorcery. Yeah, I've lost to this card and nothing else. This card requires no effort, you don't really even have to plan around it. You can just go, well, my plan is to get to 9 mana and then I'll probably just win. I've seen this just win by itself. That's what you like to play, big cards that win by themselves. And I'm like the little cards winning together type dude. We're very different. We could be like a sitcom. Like, they'll never get along. These such different play styles. It's each player chooses time or money. Anyone who chooses time is an idiot, except for you, and it gives you an extra turn. Anyone who chooses money, they take their best permanent. So you're going to always choose extra turn, and it should be extra turn plus blatant thievery.
Yeah.
Take everyone's best thing.
The only exception to this rule, there is obviously an exception because if you have a permanent that will literally make them win, then
if it was like when your opponent has this, literally says win the game, then you have to give them an extra turn, and you're going to lose anyway.
Just an easy example. Say they have a Protein Oak on the field, and you know they have a Protein Oak combo, and they cast it, and you have a sack outlet. You can't give them your sack outlet.
Yeah. If you're also playing a Hulk deck. Yeah, that's fair. But I just hate it because of how easy it is to do. I mean, I also have a deck that wins with Protean Hulk, but that deck's like trying to be competitive. So I mean, once like in a competitive setting, all bets are off. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, I don't care if I lose to Expropriate. But in a casual setting, it's really annoying.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I mean, a CEDH setting is always a little different. It's a different. The reason when we talk about EDH, we tend to leave CEDH out because it's basically a different format.
I treat it as a different format.
Yeah, because number 4. This has got to be one of the most
Talk
hated
about
cards.
low effort, high upside, high payment.
Cyclonic Rift cost. Wow, you know what Cyclonic Rift is? I'm not telling you.
It's in the Nitpicking Nerds Hall of Fame.
Everyone knows this card does.
Because it requires almost no deck building decisions to include in your deck. Because it's like the best thing ever.
It's an instant speed board wipe in blue, and it's insane.
Maybe not a board wipe, board clear. It's going to get everything out of your way if you're trying to attack them and kill them. It'll get everything off your back if you're trying to just sit there and win slowly or through combo.
I just count this as a board wipe because in a lot of situations, it's better than board wipes.
Yeah.
Because 1, it doesn't kill your stuff, and 2, bouncing sometimes is better than killing.
It doesn't kill your stuff. It doesn't even touch your stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The card is super annoying.
Evacuation is a pretty good Magic card. It's 5 mana bounce all creatures, but this is like, sorry, Evacuation, you're never seeing play.
This is instant speed. You can do it right before your turn's about to start.
Yep.
It's also a versatile spell, so sometimes somebody tries to go off and you can just bounce one thing.
Yeah, I save the whole table, or I save myself, or I stop your Voltron guy from hitting me, just for 2 mana. Just has that extra little cherry on top.
Oh, it's so good.
We have to get a gravy boat for when we talk about gravy. Maybe we'll just pour gravy on the table. I don't know, we can clean it off.
I'm not pouring gravy on the table.
So we spent our hard-earned money on this table.
I mean, I'll get a gravy boat to
Yeah, we'll get a gravy boat.
to pour gravy.
Next
but
time we're out shopping, gotta get that.
we're not gonna remember.
No, we're not. Like this video so we remember to buy a gravy boat.
Yeah, please put in the comments to remind every time anybody watches this video.
Yeah.
I want a new comment
That
telling us
says
to.
just gravy boat.
So like one of these times I'll be at the store and I'll look at my phone. I'll say YouTube comment, click on it, and it'll say gravy boat.
And then we'll be like, oh, perfect. That's actually a good idea. Get on that, fans. We need you. All 4,000 something of you. The number 3 spot is that stacks pick your adventure spot. We have, are these our least favorite ones? They are, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so Blood Moon, all non-basics are mountains, back to basics, basic lands that are on tap, and Contamination, all lands produce black instead of their normal color, and then you have to sacrifice a creature at your upkeep.
The main thing I hate about this is like it prevents Magic from being played. If someone plays Blood Moon, you're playing like a 4-color Atraxa deck. Wow.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, we play a lot of 3-color decks. I don't think there's very many room for basics in 3-color decks. Maybe 7 at most. We usually play something like that.
Yeah, I play somewhere between.
I usually go 3-2-2. The main color 3, then 2, then 2.
Sometimes I do a little more. It depends.
Yeah.
I mean, but still, it's not that
No, it's
crazy of
not
an
fun.
amount. It just depends on what you're playing.
This
But
is like no fun is going to be had.
back to basics can do the same thing, especially if you're going into 3 and 4 color decks. We just don't have a lot of basics.
There are decks that don't care about this. The deck with all the mana rocks doesn't really care. But mana rocks are still vulnerable to hate. It's not like mana rocks are how lands are sacred in Commander. We can't blow up my lands. I don't really even care if you blow up my lands. It's not fun, but if I lose right after, it doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if someone plays Blood Moon and it unlocks up the game immediately, it's okay. It's like, but if they play Blood Moon just to stop everyone for 2 turns, it's like, great. These 2 turns are really fun.
Blood Moon isn't the same as Armageddon, though. It doesn't even really end the game.
So,
Mana rocks are still good. Basic lands are still good. Mountains are still good. Red spells. It just is annoying. It's almost just like, I don't even know if I'd play it.
Blood Moon?
Yeah, depends.
I mean,
In a competitive deck, sure. I can't think of a deck that I have that cares.
I mean,
I wish I had back to
I
basics.
intentionally didn't put it in my Torbrand deck when I built Torbrand for a while.
Yeah.
I just don't like the card, and I think it's fun at all.
Mages of the Moon is similar, but it's a 2/2, so way easier to kill.
Yeah, it dies
Dies to
to
double shrivel.
a ham sandwich.
Shrivel nausea, because you can't play 2 shrivels.
Yeah, so you have to cast Shrivel by Nausea. Number 2, Smothering Tide and Eristic Study.
This is like 2-pronged. Like, they're staples, and they go everywhere, and you see them all the time, and they're consistently annoying. Hey, did you want to do that?
Yeah.
Did you want to do that? Every time someone plays Smothering Tide, I just say, I'm never paying. Please don't ask me, or please stop asking me, because I'm never going to pay. I'll tell you when I draw, but I'm not paying.
Yeah, I never pay for Smothering Tide.
Eristic Study, you always pay. You treat that like Thorn of Amethyst, okay? And then you kill it.
Yeah.
That one's way more annoying.
Yeah. I mean, treasures are not nearly as good as drawing a card. I mean,
No.
treasures are really, really, really good, don't get me wrong. But drawing a card's obviously insane.
Yeah, I'd rather have cards than mana.
Ugh, Magic versus Teferi costs 2. That card would be busted.
Have you ever played a game with both of them out at the same time?
Both of Smothering Tide and
Someone
Eristic.
has Smothering Tide and someone else has Eristic Study.
No, I don't think I have. It's got to be really annoying.
It's not great. I was a guy with Eristic Study, and it was still annoying.
Trigger?
Trigger? You get a treasure? Trigger? Okay.
Trigger is the reason that this card is so annoying. These 2 cards are so annoying.
Yeah, the triggers and the fact that they're both so pushed and so good.
Okay, you really want the most annoying possible scenario.
For Smothering Tide, Eristic Study?
For Smothering Tide.
Okay.
There's 2 Consecrated Sphinx.
Because that's already annoying in itself. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna draw 2. I'm gonna draw 4. I'm gonna draw 4. I'm gonna draw 4. Well, I'm gonna draw 4. And then they go until you want. And then the guy with Smothering Tide is like, woo-hoo-hoo!
It's actually draw 4, draw 8, draw 16.
No, but I always stop at 4. I never go past 4.
Okay.
I always choose draw 4.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I'm just saying you could just keep going up higher.
Well, unless my hand is empty. I'm like, once I hit 12, I'm never gonna draw more than 4 cards with it. I'll draw 4 every time, but there's no point to draw like 8 or whatever.
Okay.
Your deck should be good enough to where you don't need more than like 15 cards
I've seen
to do
people,
something.
I've seen people lose with like a hand of 25.
The best Consecrated Sphinx, this isn't even on the list, but we're talking about Consecrated Sphinx. The best thing you can ever do with Consecrated Sphinx is someone has Notion Thief and you just kill them.
Yeah, it's Notion Thief is not a May.
So if you would draw, let's say I go to draw a card and they respond and flash a Notion Thief, but I have Consecrated Sphinx and they have Notion Thief. They go, all right, I'm going to go to draw a card. And it's like, okay, I'll draw 2. And then they have to go draw 2. It's like, all right, I'll draw 4. Then you don't, and they have to go draw 4. And you're like, all right, I'll draw 8. And they just die because they can't not choose. They can't choose not to draw.
And then at the end of it, you get to draw 2.
Yes.
Off of the,
So that was a complete tangent that had nothing to do with anything. But number 1, for our money, the most annoying thing you can do in Commander, and I agree with this.
not close, I think. Mindslaver / Emrakul the Promised Land, controlling your opponent's turn. Going back to Sora Markov, that's his ultimate.
That is his ultimate. Gets him the number 10.
He's on this list because I hate him.
They both have very different things wrong with them in terms of why they're so annoying.
I mean, Emrakul the Promised Land comes down, takes the turn. He can just be like 8 mana.
Emrakul's cheaper than Mindslaver. Mindslaver is more recurable than Emrakul. Mindslaver does not give you an extra turn. Most of the time, it doesn't matter because you lose immediately. If you have any way to pay life equal to like a multiple of your life total, you're dead. If you have tutors, they're gone. If you have searches, they see your deck and you don't find anything. Your creatures, if you have a sack outlet, they're all dead.
I mean, it's just so easy to abuse, and you just get completely destroyed every single time.
And if you have a combo, then the player who casts Emrakul wins. Oh, I'm going to go off with Boas's Citadel, Aetherflux, except I'll kill player A and C, and then kill myself. So the Emrakul guy wins.
Ugh, God,
I've done that before. That is nice.
I mean, Emrakul's just an insanely good card. I mean, I've never played a deck with Mindslaver, and I've never played against one, but obviously there is tons of artifacts decks that want this card.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel? Actually, wait, I wanted to mention, I took Emrakul out of a deck because I became the thing I swore to destroy. It's low effort, win the game, just like Expropriate.
Ugh, I absolutely just hate
Took
those
it out.
cards.
Yeah, I just saw people not have fun, and I didn't need it in my deck, so I just got rid of it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Send triplets?
What about Sun Triplets?
Would you compare it to these, or is it different?
Oh, Sun Triplets is different.
Yeah, that's fair. It doesn't take your time. It just takes your reresources.
It's a good card. It's not even that good. It's a fine
I don't
card.
think, yeah, that's fair. It's definitely not as good as these.
It's just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't have a problem with it at all.
Should I build an Emrakul deck?
How boring would that be?
Well, I get to play Perpetual Timepiece in it.
Why?
Because it mills you. It makes Emrakul cheaper.
Sure. Go ahead. Build
I love
Emrakul.
me a Perpetual Timepiece.
Emrakul will be the lamest commander ever.
It's so bad. I could not play that for more than 2 seconds.
I mean,
It's boring to play and boring to play against.
I just think monocolored decks suffer from having the smallest card pool.
Monocolored are interesting. No colors. That has a small card pool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In terms of cards that are actually playable. But we can save that for another day.
Yeah.
That was our 10 most annoying cards. Ended up being more like 20. But 10 most annoying things, I guess.
That's just our list. Obviously, there are tons of annoying cards.
Totally subjective.
Yeah, completely subjective. There are tons of cards that people hate. There's tons of more stack pieces. I can't even think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure. Like even Savala, that card's super annoying.
I don't like that card because it's low effort, high reward.
It also costs $58. We live in the world where Savala costs $58.
She's more than Expropriate. That's only 45.
Talk about, somebody mentioned my wish list for
Reprints?
for Commander Legends. Is that what it's called?
Yes, something like that.
Whatever it's called.
Zavala's on it. But we gotta end this, do some shout outs. We have 39 patrons, and we love them all dearly. We gravely love you. And enough to make you not uncomfortable.
Gravely?
Gravely.
I don't
To
know.
the grave. And also dangerous. We love you dangerously.
I don't know about that term, but okay. Regardless, yeah, we do love you all. Thank you guys so much. This new patrons coming in. It makes us feel great. I don't know.
Super huge boost.
Do you want to shoot? Oh, wow, we're back to podcast.
Yes.
We got a special random shout out to one.
Oh, random shout out to
Willie. One of our new patrons, Willie.
he's new in town, but I think he'll get along with us in the Discord just fine. We got 2 moms. We love them. Now, we don't each have 2 moms. We have 2 moms total. We love both of them. Even if we had 4 moms, we would love all 4 of them. They make the show happen just as much as you guys watching.
And
Actually, less.
If you know Joe Cherries, he loves a good Willie.
Also, if you want to buy cards, there's a TCG player link in the description. Help us out. You don't spend any extra on us, but we get extra from the order. And if you want to give us monthly, we got a Patreon, patreon.com/nitpicking-nerds. Feel free. If you don't feel like giving us money monthly and you want to give us $3 and never see us again, Buy Me a Coffee is a place for you.
Yep, it's a virtual tip jar, and we appreciate anything we get from any of these.
Plug. I think we're done.
Peace out, Chuck. Go.